And away we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of your favorite weekend sports show. This is ITC Sportsball. I am, of course, your man, Jerome Span, the resident Monopoly champion around this mother. Okay. And, of course, I'm here with the hot take spitter, the man who spits
Look at my face.
Flaming hot lava. Flaming
you know it's listen, man. Before I introduce, but he just got me. He threw me off with that Monopoly take, man. I'm still salty about it. I got to get my revenge. But you know, it's your boy Mace, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get my revenge in Monopoly as well. What's up, right now?
Hey, well, look, I ain't got nothing on the docket today. Daryl said he ain't got nothing, so you will get your chance today. But speaking of our man Daryl, we have got the other guy in the building. He is the number one troll around here. He is that dude who makes sure that ITC ship stays moving in the right direction with all the software that we need so we can make it look better and better, because over the next few weeks, you will see it's going to look real crispy around this mother trucker, okay? He is that man, Daryl.
The champ is here. The 11-7 throwing. Monopoly robbed champion right now.
Oh my God. Robbed? Hold on. Time out. First off, you got saved by the fact that you got that free parking, because if me or Mace hit it, we was putting you out the game. It was over with. You was going out the game, but you hit that free parking for that like almost 800. It was like 750.
Yeah, like 750.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, Daryl out here taking people money, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you know what, Daryl?
That should be the message every single week. That's the message every single week. I wouldn't mind myself. I like that. It's all good. You're gonna lose this time.
Hell no, baby. We're going for dubs. We're playing for keeps around here. But we are back again this week to give you some more hot takes and go over some of the stories that passed over this week. And of course, we have to start with what is the big stuff this week. And we're going to do things kind of in reverse. People were shocking you, fucking you up, making sure you watching, making sure you paying attention. We're going to do our picks this week first, because the NFL games come on early here. And of course, we have to start with what I would call the game of the week. Niners at Cowboys. Mace, for all intents and purposes here, your team has somewhat kind of backed into the playoff. They've kind of backslid in. They've been so up and down over the course of the season. And towards the end, they were on a down more than they were on an up, right? And then you've got the Niners, who, them dudes, they start off like this, and their season has rocket shipped them into the playoffs now at this point. All that being said, me and you, we both know we don't trust Jimmy G for shit. So I have to ask, we'll start with Daryl here. Daryl, who you got for this game? Because I know Mace is about to go in on the Cowboys, so I'm going to leave him all the leeway in the world here. So Daryl, who you got in this game, Niners at Cowboys?
I hope the 49ers can actually win. You don't need them Cowboys in there.
Wait, hope, nigga, we ain't talking about your hopes and prayers, baby. We talk about who you got.
Smart choice will be 49ers.
Oh, why do you say that? Why do you say that's the smart choice?
Because I feel like Cowboys burn all that extra energy against them Eagles for no reason. For no reason. They should. I just say 49ers might come out with a surprise. We might have a surprise.
Okay, so let me put my pick out there, because I can see Mace is not happy with your pick, man. So here's the thing for me on this. If we were talking about the team that I feel like is overall more talented, it's without a question the Dallas Cowboys. But if we're talking about the team that I feel like is better coached, it's not even a question. San Francisco 49ers here. My issue with this is that the playoffs is such a small sample size thing, right? So you have to be able to do something great consistently. My problem with Dallas right now is that I don't feel like they're doing anything offensively that is great consistently. So it worries me going into this, because we know that, hey, this Dallas defense, if you can run on them, you have a chance to beat them. You have a chance to get some points scored. You cannot play pass happy, because eventually what's going to happen is Diggs is going to pick one off, and then Parsons is going to be making plays, and D-Law and Randy Gregory are going to have a chance to make plays, right? But this matchup really, really worries me, because I don't know which Dallas Cowboys offense we're going to see. Are we going to see the team that we saw the first 4 weeks, Mace, before Dak got hurt? Or are we going to see this team that we've kind of seen over the last 8 weeks that is just this all the time? All that being said, I cannot trust Jimmy Garoppolo. I trust everything about the Niners. I trust Kyle Shanahan to have a game plan that's going to work. I trust Deebo Samuel to make some plays. I trust George Kittle. I trust that defense. But I do not trust Jimmy G. I feel like this is going to be one of these games that's going to result in Jimmy G having to make some big plays down the stretch, and I feel like that's going to cost him. So with this, I'm going to have to go Cowboys by – I'm going to say it's going to still be a close game. I'll say Cowboys by 7 points. That's it. 1-score game. Mace, who you got?
Obviously, got my Cowboys, but I think this game is going to be interesting, to say the least. Like I said, Shanahan's probably going to have the better game plan. I think the way that they've utilized Deebo Samuel this year kind of creates mismatches all over the field, because whether it's jet sweeps, lining them up as a running back, he's excellent out of the slot. I mean, I expect, like I said, I don't expect this to be some defensive slugfest. I feel like this is going to be more than likely a shootout in which Jimmy G lets the team down. I don't trust Jimmy G. I mean, why would you? You see what he does for 3 quarters and then has 2 good drives. I mean, if he's expecting to have 2 good drives against the Cowboys defense, who's proven that they can turn the ball over and create pressures, I don't think that's a good recipe for victory right there. So maybe like a 34, 27, 28 game, something on the lines of that.
So for context of what Mace was saying here, Deebo Samuel on the year had 77 receptions for 1,400 yards, 1,405, right? Awesome year. You really can't dispute that. That's an excellent year for any receiver, plain and simple. But to add in, he had 59 rushes for 365. So not only is Deebo making plays for you in the pass game, but he's also making plays for you in the run game. So it makes you wonder if the game is on Jimmy G, can you really trust him? And I think me and Mace have both said, no, we cannot trust a guy like Jimmy G. At this point, Jimmy G has shown what he is. I'll be honest with you. If they were playing Trey Lance, I think my pick could go the other way.
Hey, listen, bro. The craziest take I saw was Nick Wright hit Wilds with the old, do you want what's in the left hand or the right hand? And listen, my boy, he was like, but Wilds was sick when he did this shit, man. He was fucking sick. He was like, I'll take the right hand. It was like, the right hand's Trey Lance. Might not be nothing in it, but we don't know. We know this is Jimmy G. Ain't nothing in there. Yo, when I saw that, dog, I lost it. I lost it. He did this on TV, and Wilds was sick. Bro, go find the clip. When we're done here, bro, go find that clip, bro. He was sick.
Oh, well, yeah. See, like I said, I can't trust Jimmy G at this point. I'm not saying he is the worst option you can have as a quarterback in the NFL currently of all the quarterbacks that are present, right? He is a much better option than someone even like a Kirk Cousins in my mind. Like, I trust Kirk Cousins even less than I trust Jimmy Garoppolo, right? But he's also not a guy that I feel like, hey, when we need a play, he's going to make it for you. I don't feel like he's that guy. Trey Lance is a guy that feel like would give them the ability to do that. If honestly, Mace, if we had Will on here, I meant to ask him, but I just forgot because I really wanted you and him to be able to go back and forth about this. So I think I'll try and get him next week, especially if the Niners win. But even Will has said to me over the course of the season, Will is our 49ers insider. That's our guy. That's the dude that we know. He knows his shit about football, and that he will give you a fair take on everything. All right. So he has even said the thing that pisses him off the most about Kyle Shanahan is his personnel decisions. His personnel decisions are consistently poor, to a degree that when you know that Trey Lance has the bigger upside, you're still out here playing Jimmy Garoppolo. So I cannot trust Jimmy G at this point. When your own fans know that you're limiting the overall potential of your offense because you just won't take the guy out who's been your guy for a couple, since you got there, you're screwing yourself. You're cutting off your nose despite your face, plain out and simple. So I don't think that the Niners are going to be able to overcome Jimmy G's deficiencies in this game, but we will see, because that game is tomorrow. But rolling into the games that are today, we have got two of the hotter teams in football. I mean, both of these teams red hot. I mean, I know the Bengals ended up, losing their last game of the season, but the game didn't matter to them. Their seeding was not changing one way or another. Whether they win this game or lose this game, right? So that doesn't matter. But all the games that have mattered down the stretch, the Bengals have been winning, and they have a red hot Raiders team who got one of the most improbable wins we have ever seen ever in football. I mean, Brett, do you realize that the NFL sound effects clip came out this week that showed that the Raiders were going to kneel it out? The Chargers could, if Staley did not call that timeout, Mace, the Chargers are in the playoffs.
Before we get to the pick, though, my issue with that game is y'all boys been going for it on fourth down, going for two all season, and at the end of the regulation, y'all have a chance to go for two. Why don't you keep that same energy right then? And then to go off and, okay, bro, at the end of overtime to call a timeout for what? They're already in field goal position. If they want to kick a field goal, they can. What was the point of calling the timeout right there? If they wanted to kick the field goal, they could, regardless of what you did. Mm-hmm. What was the point of calling that timeout?
I don't know. Mace, I've been playing Madden for years with time and learning clock management in these games. And, a lot of times I can understand, even when the average person thinks that a coach may have taken a timeout too early, right? I get it. Hey, you're trying to stop it from getting to the 2-minute warning, right? And you're trying to still end up with maybe one timeout after that 2-minute warning and hopefully have the ball then, right? So I get it. There's a lot of situations where we understand it. But that shit, boy, I was like, huh? Because
I mean, everything about that.
I just don't get it. I don't understand what the hell he was thinking. There's no logical explanation to why the hell you would call a timeout there. But again, sometimes, just like I do, Mace, some of these guys think that they can outsmart the world and they think they're the smartest dude in the room. And looks like Brandon Staley got caught as one of them times where he thought he was the smartest dude in the room and he was going to outsmart everybody here. And it ended up actually costing them a shot to be in the playoffs and maybe really make some noise because that team was playing decently down the stretch. One thing I have to say about that Chargers team, you have to find some consistency on defense and on offense. One week, you guys look like you're the best team in the NFL. The next week, you look like you might as well be the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You're not wrong.
I mean, I'm just being for real. And it's astounding because they have so much talent on that team, but they are consistently inconsistent. And you know what, Mace? Maybe it's just something with the Chargers because this is like their history. Don't you remember the one year when I believe it was when Rivers was the quarterback, the year that they had the #1 overall offense and the #1 overall defense and didn't make the playoffs?
Just wild. Like, how does that even happen?
Being
How does that
inconsistent.
even happen?
Being inconsistent every goddamn week. That's what happens. That's what I say. And this team reminds me a lot of that, right? I know they didn't finish out number one and number one, right? But it reminds me of that total Jekyll and Hyde team that you never know what you're going to get from them. So if the Chargers want to have some success moving forward, they're going to have to figure that out. And Justin Herbert especially, I know I really love what you've done as a player so far, but you have to be more consistent too, my friend, because you are a big part of that. Hey, 1 week, we're the best team in football. The next week, we look like we're the worst. You're a part of that. You've been great this year, and there's been some games where you've looked bad this year, and it wasn't necessarily your fault because there was, injuries, and there was also your O-line playing bad, right? I accept all of that, but you got to do more better if people are going to hype you up this way. I just know that much. But we got a little sidetrack there. But Raiders at Bengals, 2 hot teams right now. Mace, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Bengals here, man. I think that they're a heavy zone team on defense, and forcing Derek Carr to go through his reads is always a good thing. And not to mention, man, Trey Henderson has been a force this year, man. He's broken out this year. I mean, I think he's in the top 10 in pass rush win rate. Had to say that slow because that'll trip you up, baby.
Oh, you don't want to sound like me and be like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he's in the top 10 in that category. But I mean, to that credit, so is Max Crosby on the other side. But I think the Bengals defensively are a stronger team, and I believe that they just got it, man. They're the it team right now, man. They look good. They're hot. I'm gonna go with the Bengals here.
Daryl, who you got?
Going with them hot Bengals right now. That's what we're gonna go with.
Why? Why are you going with the hot Bengals? Let's hear this. I can't wait to hear this logic.
Raiders cannot be trusted.
Fair. All right.
I've been like that. Even gambling, I'm like, they can't be trusted. Your inconsistency is consistent. It's like you can't do that. Like, you want them to be like, hey, you want them to be good, and after that, you just like you're gonna just slip on the banana peel one time. So I'm just gonna go with Bengals. They showed me more consistency. That's it.
That's fair. Yeah, I would have to simply say Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that shit's going to be scary for everybody in the AFC North moving forward.
Them boys are the real deal, man.
Like, look, man, it's rare when you get to see 2 guys in college have that connection, right? Now you're talking about they're in the pros and they still have maintained that high level of connection to where, like Joe Burrow even said in one of his press conferences, what did he say, basically? He say, look, I just know I just got to throw it up and Jamar go get it somewhere. He'll get it. I just got to throw it up to his area. That's it. He'll go get it for me. And that's the thing. Honestly, it's him. It's those 2 and Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are the only combinations that I feel like have that true. We're literally on the same page all the time. We come out, we see what the defense is in, and we're like, we know what we're doing right here. Not even a question, P. And nothing even has to be communicated. All it needs is a look, and it's like, oh yeah, we got it. So I think that team is going to be something special. And this Raiders team, they do not have the personnel to match up well against this Bengals team. Those corners are not going to hold up against that skill position group. I mean, not only is Jamar Chase hitting you over the head, but Higgins is still hitting you over the head too. Like, he sneaks in out of nowhere and just big catch, 35 yards.
The crazy thing about Higgins, bro, his catch radius is ridiculous. My man is 6'4". Let's just put that out there. This man is 6'4". What do you? His catch radius is ridiculous. Any like tough catches, red zone catches, my man is there. Like, what do you? I mean, Burrow has the best of both worlds, and then he can just turn around and hand it off to Mixon.
Whew. Boy, it's a long day for any defense that has to go up against them. So, all that being said, I have to give this to the Bengals. I think the Bengals win this by 10 to 13 points on the day here. I think this is going to be one of the games where the Raiders get some garbage time points that probably make this game look closer than it actually was overall. So, good season for the Raiders, though, right? We have to all that being said from everybody here, I think we all have to acknowledge we thought for sure after Gruden went, it was going to go into the shit. I mean, we talked about that there was a possibility that it could galvanize the team, get them going, but we all agreed that it was going in the shit for them, and we have to give that team credit and that coaching staff credit for keeping that team right and getting themselves into the playoffs. Because, look, I don't care what anybody says, man. Even me as a Bears fan, I'd still rather take my team in the playoffs than not in the playoffs. Because, look, I know it sounds absolutely ludicrous, but the Giants have proved it to me 2 times in my lifetime fairly recently. All you need to do is get in the dance and be playing some good football. If you're playing some good football and you get some breaks, you might luck yourself into 2 Super Bowls. Eli Manning. And you know what's hey, and you know what's funny? You know I killed Eli on here, Mace. I promise you. When Eli came out, I thought he was going to be better than Peyton. I promise you. Because my logic on that was, well, at least Eli can move a little bit. At least he can get out of the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, Peyton was a statue, bro. I tell people all the time, one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, like, it was probably, if I had to go rankings, it'd be like Steve Young, Mike Vick, and then probably Peyton Manning, to be honest with you, right? But Peyton Manning, like, he was a statue, bro. That man, he wasn't going nowhere. If you could get home, he wasn't breaking no sacks. No, baby, no. That's dead.
He was going down preemptively.
Yes. Yo, you remember how he used to do that, man? That man would see the sack coming and be like, let me get my blanket and pillow, go to bed.
Hey, my man used to do, y'all got it, bro. I get y'all next down, baby.
Exactly, Fred. Like, but yeah. So, you know, I think the Raiders have had a very good season for sure. I think they've exceeded any expectations that people may have had for them. So, have to give them their credit. Makes me wonder what they're going to do with their head coaching situation moving forward here. I don't really know where you go as the Raiders. I don't know if you give your guy that just got you into the playoffs a chance, right? Give him like a 1-year or 2-year deal to say, hey, prove it to us that you can do this over the course of a whole season, or if you go out and you just make wholesale changes, right? I don't fully know what approach the Raiders should take because their season, they showed promise. So do you believe in that promise or not? I don't really know. I didn't watch enough of the Raiders this year. I watched a few of their games, but I didn't see them consistently enough to say, hey, is this staff got the team going in the right direction? So, all that being said here, the other game today, the late game, we got Daryl's boys out here tonight. Yes, sir. We have got Patriots at Bills. Mace, I'm going to slide this to you because I know Daryl, this is his squad, so we're going to let him have some runway here for his team. So, Mace, who you got?
Bro, this is a bad blood game. Like, I like this game. This is probably going to be the 12-9 game if there is one this week. But you know what, man? I'm going to take the Bills here. I think they have too many big play threats. And by too many, I just mean Diggs. But, yeah, I'm taking the Bills here. I'm going to keep it short because Daryl's going to take this away.
All right, now I can see it in his face. He was over here. Yeah, he was clapping his hands. He was ready. Look, normally I have extreme faith in a Bill Belichick defense in the playoffs. But I feel like this is a very bad matchup for them because Josh Allen seems to have figured out what Bill Belichick wants to do to him when they play. And he's matured enough to the point to where over the last 4 games, he hasn't lost against I'm sorry, they lost that shitty ass horrible weather game, right? But like beyond that, I think in his last 5, I think he's like 4-1 against the Patriots. So I think Josh Allen has kind of figured out how to play against the defense. Here's the problem for the Patriots more than anything, though, because I think the defense is still going to play well enough to, keep the team competitive. But here's the problem. His name is Mac Jones, Mac Jones. He about to get exposed, bruh. I'm going to tell you something. Buffalo playing there this time of the year, you better have a strong arm. If you do not have a strong arm, your ass about to get exposed. Plain out and simple. I have seen it happen to a bunch of quarterbacks that I know have stronger arms than Mac Jones. So on top of that, Patriots have done a great job protecting him this year and not asking him to do too much. But when you get in the playoffs, we need your quarterback to be able to make a play at some point. And against that defense that have Mace, as we said, if that defense could ever get right, which they finally did over those last 4 games, right? It was like, you know what, Mace, Jerome, y'all right, man. We sorry, bro. We know y'all have faith in us. We sorry. We got you, B. We got you. So they finally got their shit together, and now they look like one of the better. Honestly, there's only 2 teams in the AFC that I really feel like can come out, and the other one is the Chiefs. It's the Bills and the Chiefs for me. So, but all that being said, I'm going Bills, and I'm going Bills big. I think the Bills blow the Patriots out because Mac Jones is going to turn the ball over.
Wow. Wow. You just lost all faith. You just say, hey, they gotta make these big plays. They gotta have a strong arm. You know what? That arm's gonna be crippled.
Hey, I got faith in Bill. I got faith in Bill, but not Mac.
Why?
Because Bill know what he doing. I know Bill gonna have a game plan. Okay, he gonna show Josh Allen some new shit that's gonna keep them in the game. But Mac, this is his first time in the playoffs, bruh. And do you think that they don't got something waiting on this man? Did you forget that their head coach is a defensive head coach? Did you forget that? That man got something special waiting on Mac Jones here, baby. Look, hey, if you got so much faith, Daryl, answer me this. Why when the last time they played, when it was a little bit windy out, why they were so scared to throw the ball with Mac Jones then?
You know what? I don't see it the way y'all see it. That's crazy. I see this might be an edging out type scoring. I think it's gonna go back and forth, but I don't believe in them Bills like that. That's crazy. The Patriots are gonna go off. I'm just saying they're gonna go off. Yeah, I said it. They're gonna go off. Full confidence. I throw everything to it. I'll throw everything to it.
He's throwing his wallet at the camera right now, bro.
Where is that wallet? Oh, there you go.
Hey. It's okay to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I have crazy friends who ain't got no damn sense. So, it's all right. I mean, if you want to be drunk, feel free.
Hey, I'm gonna be drunk as you as Amanda Nunes. That's how drunk I'm gonna be.
Bro, he gonna bring that up until he lose a fight. And even then he gonna try to sneak it in there every now and then to get a little fake victory.
His time is coming. Don't you worry. His time is coming. Okay, plain out and simple. He can gloat in his little glory right now, but don't you worry, Mace. I will get my revenge. But so wait, why should we believe in the Patriots though, Daryl? What's your logic? How do you feel like the Patriots are going to win this game?
Strong defense, and it's like a surprise in the second half. That's how I see it right now. I really see it like that because it's Patriots. We all know throughout the years, even with Brady. Like it's always that little second half would be changing every game. That's what I think it really is, honestly. I can go off the players because, you know, player can have a bad day. He can have sniffles. He can have something. It could always be like a toss-up. Hey, someone, if you go in there to win, you have that mind state, screw all everything else. Just because it's like you might be your first time doing it doesn't relieve the pressure for all those other games. You should just play that game like it's normal at that point. I don't believe that pressure. I don't believe it.
Oh, you don't believe pressure bursts pipes? You don't believe that?
Nah.
Oh, so you think pressure about to make a diamond?
Yeah, yes, that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. What you willing to put on that, Daryl?
Oh, here we go. I knew it. I knew it. I told you, we're not betting on football. I'll do MMA all day.
What you willing to put on it, Daryl? You talking all that cash. What you willing to put on it?
I'm not confident this morning.
Oh, wow. It's amazing how this works. Mm-hmm.
As like I said, I'm edging it out. And that's what that's going to be. It's going to be edged.
Scared money don't make no money, Daryl.
I ain't putting no money, so I'm scared.
Hey, if you're scared, get a dog and take your ass to church. Not my problem. What you trying to do? How much confidence you really got, Daryl?
Oh my gosh, I don't know about that. I have the same confidence as them Bears. That's what I have. The same confidence.
What my team got to do with this? Stop trying to deflect. You're trying to deflect because you ain't got no confidence to put it on the line. Because you know, you make this bet now, Daryl will be a clown next week. That is why he doesn't want to make this. He doesn't want to do it. You see that? He just wants to be like, nah. I don't want to risk it. I just want to sit and bask in this glory.
Yes, bask in this glory like Keith Lee. Bask. It's gonna happen.
Fuck this.
You get me next time.
Oh wow. Oh wow. All right. So the other games on the weekend, we have got Daryl's other team, I guess we could say, Mace.
I got two.
But versus the team that he despises the most in the NFL. We've got Eagles at Bucks. I already know. Daryl, go ahead and tell us. Go ahead and tell us who you got. Go ahead. Come on.
You don't bet on Brady. There you go. I just said it. Sorry, said it. Done. Zip locked everything. Don't bet on Brady. You think them freaking Philadelphia Eagles are gonna do something to them? Out all teams? Okay.
Look, I've been big up in Jalen Hurts all season. I ain't that damn high. Okay.
You want to bet on this game?
Look, I may have smoked some of that Gorilla Glue this morning, but my brain ain't stuck on stupid. Okay, so no. Okay, yeah, you take the Eagles. I'll take the Bucks.
Get the hell out of here! I'll never take the Eagles ever in my life.
Hey, you say, hey, wait, didn't he ask me? He said, "Do you want to bet on the game?" I said yes. Doesn't that mean Mace? He's ready to bet? I just told him who I want.
Nah, you can have them sweaty Eagles. Throw them in the trash.
No, I'm good. Away. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear. Both me and Daryl both going Bucks here.
I'm picking the Bucks as well.
I don't even think we need to waste time. I do just want to say one thing to close out the season on the Eagles. If you guys do not build around Jalen Hurts, you're stupid. You're stupid. You've already seen that you have a quarterback that can give you plus plays on every game. And what I mean by plus plays is when you're not expecting a big play and he gets you one based off of his sheer talent that he has readily available to you. So he gets you a lot of plus plays. He is responsible for like 60 or 70% of your total offense on the season. Okay. He has done everything needed to be. If you can get him a better offensive line and take the coach's head firmly out of his keister, okay, and have him start running the ball more consistently, that Eagles team will have success. More than anything, you have to get an offensive line to start protecting him better, because at the end of the day, he still had to run too many times in passing situations because his offensive line just let him down. Plain out and simple. They started playing better down the stretch, but you have to do better. Mace, would you agree that this is probably somebody that they need to build around? And if you as a Cowboy fan, if they decided not to, you would probably be like, hey, good job, Eagles, fucking up again.
Listen, as a Cowboys fan, I can say that in our division, the Eagles are the closest to competing against us, like plain and simple. Whether it be the offensive line, whether they can get lucky in free agency, get somebody on a small contract that overperforms, or in the draft or what have you. If they can protect Jalen Hurts and start running the ball a little bit more, that team will, like I said, they're the closest of the Giants dumpster fire. You know what I'm saying? They're the closest ones.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that statement at all. So, Eagles, don't screw it up. You have a quarterback that you can win with. Now you need to put the pieces around him to make this happen. But speaking of teams where they have to do a better job putting the pieces around their quarterback, Mace, we have got to go to the Cardinals and Rams here. What the hell is wrong with the Cardinals, Mace?
I just honestly, bro, you know what I think? I think Cliff Kingsbury has the same issue that Kellen Moore has as a play caller. He has a strategy, but doesn't have any counter punches. Mm-hmm. Like he goes in with this game plan, which can work if you're, like I said, it's a good game plan. Don't get me wrong. Like when their offense is clicking, it's clicking. But it seems to me that they cannot change it up any, if at all. At some point, they just go out there and it just comes into a situation where Kyler Murray has to make off-time plays. Like he has to scramble around and wait a little bit longer for somebody to get open. And as you can see, teams have figured out that if he's short, so if you force him to step up into the pocket, it bodes well for your defense.
I look at this team and I've got real questions. They don't seem to do any one thing great. They can make some explosive plays, but when you watch them, it doesn't feel like they're consistently in rhythm or anything like that. Without DeAndre Hopkins, that offense is lacking. AJ Green, he's been serviceable as like a number 2 option this year. But guys like Christian Kirk and who was their tight end that they had before they picked up Ertz, whoever he is, all these guys, they were not producing at a high enough level, and their running game is basically non-existent, right? Mace, you know what this remind me of? You remember when Cliff first came to the Big 12 and he caught all everybody's like defenses by surprise, right? And those first 2 years he was there, it was like, oh, damn, how are we going to guard this, right? But their defense couldn't stop nobody. And then all of a sudden, about year 3, all of a sudden teams are like, we got it, B. I think that's what we're seeing here. That offense has not changed really what they're doing. They haven't added anything new, and they just added in new players to do what they were doing, right? Instead of it being Christian Kirk, it's been more AJ Green this year, right? All that in mind, I cannot trust this Cardinals team at all at this point. I think if you are willing to trust that team, you are a damn fool at this point. I got to go Rams here, even though, boy, Matthew Stafford makes me nervous, dude. If I am a Rams fan, I have got to be shitting bricks every time Matthew Stafford plays against a good team. Because, dude, look at what happened when he played Baltimore. That's like the perfect example of it. It's like, bro, a team that you should be beating, a team that their secondary is lacking, but you know they're still a good team, so they're going to come prepared. They're getting turnovers on you. It's like, oh, man, he makes me nervous, bro. I feel like they will beat the Cardinals, but as far as getting out of the next round, I feel like Matthew Stafford, no matter who they play, is throwing them out of that next game. So I will go Rams in this game. Mace, who you got in this game?
I got the Rams, man. I mean, the great equalizer, Aaron Donald. I feel like he's the key to this game, just like he was in their last matchup late in the season a couple weeks back. I think it's going to come down to Aaron Donald making more plays than Kyler Murray does. I believe DeAndre Hopkins isn't playing in this game. I think J.J. Watt may be coming back, but he hasn't really made an impact due to injury or whatever other reason. But yeah, man, I'm feeling the Rams here, and much like Jerome, even though I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, I feel like Matthew Stafford has not shown that he is ready to take on bigger challenges. While he's been the quarterback for the two greatest receiving seasons in NFL history. I mean, that's crazy in and of itself, man. The fact this guy threw the ball to Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp in two of the most prolific seasons. But yeah, man, I think he's going to crumble in bigger situations later on in his playoffs.
Daryl, who you got?
I gotta go Rams also, because those Cardinals, man, they look good in the beginning. Now feels like everybody got tape on them, so you just got the blueprint right now at this point.
That's exactly why I said, man, Cliff Kingsbury, he reminds me a lot of how Kellen Moore came out of the gates hot, and now it's like teams have figured his offense out, and he doesn't have any counter punches. So I mean, they had the great equalizer in DeAndre Hopkins for a while. You could just close your eyes and throw the ball up to, and something good was going to happen.
Hey, if the Cardinals can play chess and win this one, that'd be actually shocking. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't disagree with you on that at all.
This is going to be like probably a technical game. So the Rams better have their A game coming in, just not messing up at all. Don't get no interceptions. Don't get no sacks. Just don't do any of that. Just be on your game, pretty much.
We'll see, man. I just don't think that they can do it. And the last game of the week, which will be on Sunday, just to be clear, people, so you know, for those that don't know, this is the last week of Monday Night Football. So that Cardinals and Rams game is going to be on Monday night. So it's our last week of that. Enjoy it while you can here. But the last game of the week we've got is Steelers at Chiefs, the retirement party for Ben Roethlisberger. That being said, I think you guys all know where I'm going with my pick. Is Chiefs all day. See you later, Roethlisberger. Have a good retirement.
You don't believe in the Big Ben story?
Hell no. Oh, he a rapist that got away with it. No, I don't believe
it. Go, man.
So I do believe this game is going to be closer than it should be. I don't know too much about the health of Tyreek Hill or whatnot, but I just think whenever you can create a pass rush, man, I think that always makes it hard for the other team. So I mean, I feel like Steelers defense is going to keep them in it, and I think this game may be closer than a lot of people think. I still don't think the Steelers are going to pull the game off, but I'm not expecting the one-sided beat down that a lot of people may be thinking is going to happen.
So via ESPN's fantasy football site there, as of 20 hours ago, Hill doesn't carry an injury designation for Sunday's wildcard game against the Steelers. Hill was limited at practice Thursday, but his full participation in Friday's session sets the stage for the playmaking wideout to be available for the team's postseason opener.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like he's gonna be there. Daryl, who you got?
I don't want to pick nobody, tell you the truth. Man. If I'm drunk and crazy, I believe in the Big Ben story, saying like he's gonna win this, even though we don't want him to win. But then we got the Chiefs. I get the. We know the answer is probably going to be the Chiefs.
He was trying to think of a way to try and be like,
he was trying to rope that in there some kind of way.
And then he knew it, and then he thought about it and was like, hell no, I ain't gonna try and do this. I can't even believe what I'm going to say. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear on everybody here. So that is all the games of the week. I do have to say though, now at the beginning of the year here, me and Mace made some picks here, and yeah, some of them bared out fairly well for us, right? So for me and Mace both picked Aaron Donald for Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think he's going to end up winning it here, unfortunately, even though he's had another great year. I mean, you can't really hate on him. Our Offensive Player of the Year that's a non-quarterback, Mace went Mike Evans. I went Travis Kelce. I think we both got screwed on that. Thank you, COVID and injuries. Appreciate it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Mace nailed this one on the head. He went with Kyle Pitts. I went with Justin Fields. I only did that trying to like have some hope, but I should have known better than to believe in Matt Nagy.
I feel you.
Man, I was trying to will it into belief. I was trying to be like, man, maybe if I put it out in the universe, it'll happen. We both got it dead on the money here with Defensive Rookie of the Year. We both picked Micah Parsons here. Parsons has had, I think, an even better year than either of us could have predicted him to have. And then the MVP for the year, I picked Lamar Jackson because I thought the damn Ravens was going to ball out, and he was on his way to do it. And then all of a sudden he got hurt. But Mace, I have to give him his credit. He got it right with this one because it is more than likely going to end up going to old number 12 up in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Can he just leave my fucking division already, please? Can he please leave my division? Please. I'm begging. Bro, please. Aaron, please look at my face. Aaron, look at me. Please, dog. Go to the AFC. Leave us the hell alone. Please. Please. Go help Baby James out. Go to Denver so you can make Baby James happy, and then I don't have to hear him whine about his team anymore, and I don't have to hear him tell us how his team going to be 11-6 it would be, Mace, and then they turn around and be the inverse. I don't want that to happen for my guy no more. I want him to be able to have good times too. So please, Aaron, leave the division. That's all I ask. Please, one Bears fan. I'm just asking, baby. Please, you've made my life miserable enough as a Bears fan. Okay, miserable enough. But speaking of misery, sometimes we see some crazy things out here that get under your skin a little bit, and some of those things get up under our man Mace's skin, and he likes to let you know what it is and give you some of that hot lava. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mace's Madness.
Let me sit up for this one. So we're gonna go into we're gonna take a trip up to Brooklyn, New York here. We're gonna get at these Nets here for a second. So as a lot of people may know, Kyrie Irving is close to being a full-time player now. The Nets, according to the reports, the Nets are the ones that approached him and was like, hey, bro, we need you. We're going to pay your fines, blah, blah, blah. So here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to speak to the Nets organization as the liaison for the other owners here. And we got to ask them, starting off, what the hell are y'all doing? Especially in the NBA here, where you have this power struggle between organizations and players are taking more control. They're saying where they want to play, when they want to play, things of that nature. And organizations are just kind of like taking it on the chin right now. For y'all to take this L and ask this man to come back to play and then pay for his fines to play, what the hell are y'all doing? This was y'all chance to take a little bit of the power back and be like, hey, damn that. Either you gonna sit out or you gonna get the shot and come back and play full time. But they were like, nah, bro, we need you because we got a bunch of bums and 2 hoopers out there that need you. So, I mean, y'all did it to yourself, and now the whole league is gonna have to suffer because, like I said, man, this is more of a power struggle deal than just let me get my best guys back on the court. Because if people that have been watching sports more than just the actual events, you know that players are saying no to this and that. Players are basically deciding where they want to play, all this stuff. I mean, come on, man. This was as an NBA organization, this was y'all's chance to put the players back in their place and say, hey, this is what we are still the ones running the show, and y'all fumbled the bag. You fumbled the bag. You could have had the chance. You could have had Kyrie Irving come groveling back to play, but no, you didn't want to do that. You didn't want to do that because of bad team building. You know that, that with a James Harden and Kevin Durant, that team is doing absolutely nothing. You need that third hooper because you got a bunch of bums out there, and you pretty much screwed yourself over and the other owners in the NBA. Good job, Brooklyn Nets.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You don't know? What do you mean you don't know? They literally listen. So the way the fines work, it starts off at $1,000, and then it gradually goes up to $5,000 like per game that he plays, being unvaccinated in the arenas that are that have like the COVID rules and whatnot. The Nets are going to literally pay that fine every game that he is out there. Why not make Kyrie pay for it? If you want to take control back of the NBA, you owners want to, or these teams, these organizations want to sit here and be like, we're the ones still running the show, force Kyrie to pay those fines. Nah, you're going to pay him for him because you need, like I said, there's a bunch of bums out there with 3 hoopers. You need him out there. So you did this to yourself.
No, but the price of winning is greater than them fines right now. Let's be honest. Without Kyrie, that team is getting washed. Like, yeah, we have Harden, Durant, but still, like, you need Kyrie. It's like having no Curry and you're having Thompson and everybody else. It's not going to work. You need him. You need your shooter.
But still, though, to that point, though, they did this to themselves by putting 3 hoopers around a bunch of bums, and now one of them's like, nah, bruh, I ain't playing. So here y'all come knocking on his door, talking about, yeah, please come back. We gonna pay for everything.
Well, I think so. I think something's gonna happen after this season with Kyrie, though. Honestly, because
what can they do though, man? It's gonna be they're stuck with Kyrie and Harden and Durant and a bunch of bums because they take up so much money from the team that they can't make the team any better. Like, they need them 3 out there, and If I'm the other owners in the league, I promise you, I'm on the phone right now and be like, bro, y'all are messing this up. How you gonna pay the man fines when you want to be the one in control? How that makes sense? You want to be in control, but you gonna knock on his door. Hey, bro, please come back. We got it, baby. Don't worry about nothing.
Well, if anything, it shows you the lack of control that a lot of these places have. Like, they have completely conceded and gave up all their control to the players. And I'm sorry, at this point, I feel no pity for them, because when they had all the control, they were going it up anyway. So at some point, though, this whole Kyrie stuff, though, it has to stop. Like you said, Mace, this is ridiculous. Honestly, I think it's illegal for the team to be paying his fines in that way. I think there's might be something in the collective bargaining agreement that has to deal with that, but we'll see how that plays out down the future here. But at least in the NFL, we're seeing, you know, a lot of different people get chances and opportunities that seem to look like the players, but that sure as hell ain't happening in the NFL. Mace, Daryl, at this point in the NFL, they have one more black head coach than the NHL does. And if you don't know, the NHL has a resounding 0. So, all that being said, we've seen the specific example I want to note right now is we've seen Brian Flores get fired when that team has been on the come up, right? They went from a team that people like Dominique Foxworth was calling unethical to even put on the field to now they have actual expectations to win games and make the playoffs, right? So you clearly have gotten the team and the ship going in the right direction. We see him get fired after finishing the season. What they won 7 out of their last 8, you know, so and got it to the point to where literally their last game of the season was, hey, if you win, you have a chance to get in. You know, he got them all the way to that point. They still fired him anyway. And we know how this normally goes for black head coaches here, especially in the NFL. Him and David Culley both got those ships pointing in the right direction. Mace, do you feel like either of those men actually deserve to lose their job? Because look, man, me and you picked the Texans to win like fucking 2 games this year. That's it. So do you feel like either of their firings were really deserved? Even after the smear campaign that the Dolphins have put out after the fact when they fired him? Because I was like, look, man, I'm sorry. I can see a clear smear campaign when I know one.
It's a bunch of BS, man. Let's just be real about what it is, man. Not only first, let me start with the Dolphins. First off, Flores not only created a different culture around that team, he was beating the Patriots in the AFC East. That's your barometer for how good your team needs to be. He was consistently beating the Patriots. Mm-hmm. What you look at the way his defense performed. Like, yeah, okay, they started out terrible, for lack of a better, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Got the ship pointed in the right direction, and the defense carried the team like they did last season, and how I thought they would at the beginning of this season and for the season. But I mean, they had everything there. Whether or not they believed in Tua or not, you had pieces around Tua to make up for whatever deficiency you thought he had. I mean, your rookie receiver out there just broke the record for rookie receptions. I mean, come on, man. They have offensive pieces out there along with a strong defense, and you fire the guy anyways when he's the one. He's the reason for the defense. He's the reason that y'all are beating the Patriots, and y'all fire him anyways. Come on, man. I mean,
it's a joke. Like call it what it is. You're saying it right, and your hand over your face is the perfect expression. It's absurd when you watch Matt Patricia get 3 years, 4 years in Detroit,
something like that.
We watched his team get worse year after year, and yet he still had his job. Hell, let's be honest. If not for the controversy that happened with Urban during the season, I bet you he still has his job right now.
Oh, for sure.
I bet you.
For sure.
Look, if the story about him kicking the kicker doesn't come out, Urban Meyer is still their coach right now. Plain out and simple. We watch guys fail up all the time. Hell, did you hear the story that came out about Josh McDaniels this last week, Mace? The story they got told about him? So it was one of the middle linebackers. Goodness, I want to say it was Damian Williams, I think it was. But he was talking about the time when McDaniels became the coach in Denver, right? And he was saying, yeah, you know, those first, like we started off the season hot as can be, right? And he was like, in those weeks when we all listened to them, we won games. And he was like, and then about halfway into the season, all of a sudden they had to fire one of their film guys because he got caught filming the other team's practice. And after that, the Bills finished the season 7-9. I believe they started off like 6-1. Mace, this guy's a known cheater, but yet he's still another name that's being put out there. He's essentially failing up, right? He fails up. I love Lane Kiffin at in college football, but he failed up over and over and over, right?
Bro, Bill O'Brien is getting mentions for head coaching interviews. Bill O'Brien, the same dude that traded DeAndre Hopkins for a washing machine and a bag of Doritos. That dude is getting head coaching consideration. That guy.
Again, just like clown show stuff. Bill O'Brien getting opportunities when yet, hey, Mace, let me ask you a question. In all these openings and stuff that you've heard, anybody trying to interview Eric Bieniemy this year?
Not a single person. Listen, if I didn't have a head coaching job open, bro, I'm driving down to Kansas City personally. If I'm the owner of, hey, bro. Hey, is he available? Can we get a word? What's up? I'll leave a voicemail, email, what you want. I need to get that man in the building ASAP.
Yeah, I just don't understand how this continues to happen. Now, one thing I do have to say is that I have to give my team credit where it's due, because I kill these guys all the time for the decisions that they make, but they seem to. Here's what's weird, right? So you have like what the Bears are doing right now, which is they're interviewing a whole bunch of minority candidates. Like there's probably actually more minority candidates than there are white candidates currently for the jobs open in Chicago, right? So you got that where one team's doing it that way. That seems to be like the way that the Steelers would do it, right? If the Steelers were looking, that's what you would expect from them. But then you got a whole bunch of organizations.
Like the Texans, who just interview people who are tied to the Patriots organization.
Yeah. And then, like you said, Bill O'Brien getting head coaching interviews after you watched him. His scheme was never great in Houston. He just happened to have Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, and they bailed his ass out week after week after week. Okay? He's getting head coaching interviews when we watched what happens when you leave him in charge of a team. How many times do we have to keep going back through this cycle with the NFL, Mace, where they're just trying to recycle the same guys instead of trying to give other people opportunities? I'm not even saying you always have to hire a black head coach. That's not what I'm saying by any means. But what I'm saying is, shouldn't you be interviewing some new candidates here? Because a lot of these candidates are going to end up being minority candidates. They're going to be the Latino guys, the black guys that are in the league, right? But here's a surprise. In the league, they're the majority. So shouldn't you be interviewing some people that look like them? You should be. But a lot of these teams seem to still have a very ass backwards way of doing business. And clearly, when you hear the name Bill O'Brien and names like what's his name, Mace, Jeff Ireland, when you hear guys like this that have clearly shown that they failed at their job, you got these guys getting interviews for positions that they don't have no.
I mean, hell, man,
working in football like that again.
Byron Leftwich in Tampa Bay, another offensive coach that has proven that he knows how to counterpunch. Mm-hmm. He's proven that he can go in at halftime and recreate the game plan in that period of time and get his team over the hump. Why ain't nobody busting his door down right now?
Hey, we got Byron coming in here. That's why I say my team doing right now. We seem to be like, maybe we finally should do this right, except for that Bill Polian shit, Mace. Before you even say something, except for that Bill Polian shit. But like you said, 2 good things in a row cannot happen here. So now, okay, so we fired Nagy and Pace, good thing. So now we hired Bill Polian, bad thing. So that means we got to get the head coach of GM right?
You got to.
That means, right? Like, we can't have 2 bad things happen in a row. And I'm telling you, look, for all you Bear fans and all you football fans that are out here still trying to sell me the narrative of Bill Polian, if you do not kiss my black ass, okay? Look, Bill Polian 10 years ago, I could see it. He was still pretty much a big part of being in football. Bill Polian now? No, sorry, buddy. When you told me that dudes like Zach Wilson and shit is going to be good, but the league MVP, Lamar Jackson, should have had to move to a wide receiver, I'm sorry, B, I can't rock with you. You don't know what the hell you talking about anymore. The game, he is a perfect example of what do they always say, boys? The game has passed you by. And that's plain out and simple with him.
And you can say that about a few of these football analysts that the league has seemed to, they seem to not have been able to get with the times. They are stuck in the early 2000s way of scouting.
You remember like 2 years ago, Mace? This is kind of a example of this. About 2 years ago, when the ESPN decided they were going to start switching up their personalities on NFL Live, right? You remember, because they had the same people on there for like 10 years, basically, right? And all them people crying and whining, oh no, they shouldn't be giving these different people the top. I just want to see more Boomer, more of this person. But right? They were crying and whining, oh, the show will never be the same. This year, they had their highest ratings that they've had in like 5-6 years. And they've actually shown growth in their show and their viewership compared to previous years. And you know what the big difference is? Boy, that show, NFL Live, is a whole lot of black and brown people and Asian people that work on these shows now, and they give different perspectives. The people are seeing that, hey, these people know what the hell they're talking about. They're not just trying to use footballisms all day long.
Right? So, there's no more let's run through a wall for the team type talk. You know what I'm saying? There's no more I'll sacrifice my life for the team type footballisms.
Hey, look, 10 years ago, guys like Dan Campbell, they would have talked about how like people, oh man, that's the kind of coach you want. You want him to be so committed and you want him to get you to run through a wall. Nowadays, we appreciate what Dan Campbell's able to do there in Detroit. We do. We appreciate the fact that he seems to have gotten that culture right. But nigga, you coming out here talking about you got to be biting kneecaps and shit, like we all got to laugh.
Yeah, man, you better
try to footballism that up.
You better get some dudes up there that can scheme up some victories. Damn all that.
Facts. But this is why the NFL has to stop. And this goes back to the story that we talked about just last week, right? Where we have to stop this nepotism approach in the NFL. We have to start hiring the most qualified people, because otherwise you're just running the hamster wheel in circles over and over. You're never going to change what your end result is. And I'm hoping that's what the Bears are doing now here, being one of the teams that's being willing to bring in all of these minority candidates for both positions, not just one, not just for coach, but for coach and the dude that's going to run your football operation, right?
Hasn't they interviewed the Minnesota VP? It's a woman. What's her name? She's up for I know Chicago has brought her in or plans to bring her in for the GM position, but I mean that'd be fairly dope because I mean
we from the tracker that I'm seeing, she's not on the list yet that I see. It looks like she's been very rumored. I know what you're talking about. She has been rumored to be coming here, but I don't see her on the list. But you never know. Just because she's not on this list doesn't mean that she's not being interviewed. Because like I said, I've heard the same thing as you, which is, hey, that they wanted to bring her in and, you know, have some talks with her and see what we could do moving forward here. But I can only hope that more teams can be open-minded here moving forward so we can start to see more progression in the game. Because I am so tired of watching these just starchy, boring as hell, scared for their lives guys like Matt Nagy and Joe Judge getting jobs as coaches when they don't really deserve it.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, if Bill O'Brien gets a head coaching job before a Bieniemy or Byron Leftwich, bro, I'm coming on here spitting fire. Y'all hear me? I'm coming on the show. I'm spitting hot fire at every NFL organization.
Hey, I am mad at you. I am mad at you because, like, at some point, we got to stop being stuck on stupid in the NFL, right? We got to stop being morons about what we're doing here because it just doesn't make any damn sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense the way business gets handled a lot of times in the NFL. I mean, why are we hiring guys like Matt Rule, who's willing to say things like he felt Sam Darnold was in the same category as Justin Fields and Mac Jones? And he also confirmed to a radio station that Rashawn Slater, who is balled out, Mace, this year, we both know this, right? Balled out, was not ideal tackle size, and they weren't comfortable with taking a guard that high. Also mentions that he had a mobile quarterback in LA. Why do we keep hiring these assholes like this who clearly don't know what they're talking about?
Did he not realize that Rashawn Slater didn't allow sacks? He didn't allow QB pressures? Did he see the same film that everybody else saw?
No, what he was doing is, Mace, he was trying to back up his own stupid ass statements that he made before and trying to say, well, this is why we didn't go and get one of these guys. This is why we went and did this. See?
I got nothing.
Oh, disgust. Yeah, I will never understand again and again why the NFL just keeps cycling guys like this, besides the absolute fact of the story like we talked about, which is that, hey, there is way too much nepotism in football. Way too much. This is why we've been trying to tell you here on ITC Sportsball. Stop believing in those fucking myths because they're not true. They're just trying to get you hyped and get you all nostalgic and get you, basically get the drug of football pumped into your veins. What I want is just the best product on the field. I don't give a fuck about your hype train. Give me the best games with the best teams possible. That's all I want. That's all I want. So hopefully we'll get to see things getting smoothed out moving forward here. But I think we have to close out with two stories here. One, because I have to ask both of you gentlemen's opinions on both of these here. So I'm gonna put this one, point this light at Daryl. Hey, Daryl. So all this time we've heard the rumors of Bob Arum, right? And the things that he's done. Like we both have been very big fight fans for over 20 years of our lives, right? So we know what's going on in the boxing world. Terence Crawford, who could be known realistically, as pound for pound, the best boxer in the world, right? He is now suing Bob Arum and essentially stating that his racial animus and racial bias got in the way of the earnings that potentially could have happened. Do you feel like there may be some truth to what Crawford is saying? And if so, do you feel like fighters maybe need to start adjusting who they're signing up with?
Yes and yes. Because I think the only boxer in the sport, retired or not, and has been smart is probably Mayweather. Mayweather has said, like, nope, not doing this anymore. I'm going to make the biggest bag possible, and I'm going to pay me. Like, I promote, I do this, I do that. I don't need someone else putting limits on my money, limiting my fights, all that type of stuff. Like, the fact of the matter is that we even bring in racism in 2022, 2021 about any of this bullshit. It's crazy. Most of your boxers, most of the top boxers are pretty much black or Hispanic in some type of thing. You give me the only recognizable, if you had to go to a casual, right? And you had to say, who's the most recognizable white boxer?
It's only Fury.
It's only Fury. That's
he's
one.
English. He's not even from America.
Man, he white though. Hey, he's English white.
You get what I'm saying though. It's not even like he's American white. Like,
yeah, but you only got Fury. How can you do that when there's so many mixes in the boxing world, different weight classes, all that? You cannot go ahead, be a bigot, stay in your ways. If you want to go into going back in time, go back in time. Go there. Don't put your little opinions and beliefs that we can't fight and spoil for everybody else. Like, as a boxer, I should be treated equally. I should be getting all the big fights, have my hard work being paid. Don't be trying to like make me belittle me, all that other stuff. You deserve to get sued. Like, if there's mad truth behind it, yeah, I'm gonna push that lawsuit to like you're shitting bricks at that point. Like, you're not gonna keep on doing this.
The crazy thing though is like during promoting of his fights, like Bob Arum would sit there and just be like, "Yeah, bro, I lose money promoting his fights. How? How do you lose money promoting fights for a good or a excellent boxer? More than good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you lose money doing that other than the fact that you don't want to be there, you don't want to put the time into promoting his fights? That's the only way I can see you losing money. It's like anything. If you don't want to do the job, you're going to do a terrible job at it.
You have a deal with ESPN. There is no damn excuse for you making money, losing money on a guy that's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. There's no excuse in that. You're 100%, 1,000, 1,000,000% right. Hell, to me, the fact that Arum has stated for so long that he loses money on Crawford's fights shows me exactly what you're talking about right there, Mace, which is that, hey, he doesn't really want to make Crawford a success. In my opinion, from how I view it, I feel like he's trying to make sure that he keeps that man under his thumb. He's trying to make sure that he can never become too profitable, so one of his fighters can give him this like Floyd does every time he hits him up. Like when Floyd's like, yo, if you ain't got my money right, I ain't going. Bob has to respect it. You know, with his guys under Top Rank, doesn't necessarily have to do that. He can always create some excuse. Like, dude, you have a TV deal with ESPN. Why were we not seeing promotion for Bud Crawford's last fight until like a month before the fight? You should have been building that up for like 4 or 5 months. He is your best fighter on your roster, and you're not building up his fights. Think about this, for just comparison's sake. when Conor McGregor fights, how long is his hype train usually?
Like 6 months at least. Like, we talking about that the moment they signed the fight contract.
Promos, trailers, everything.
Everything.
Now answer me this. In the past 2 years, when Bud Crawford has fought, and well, let's go past 3 years, when Bud Crawford has fought actively in those 3 years, let me ask you guys, how many trailers and stuff you didn't really seen for his fights?
One. One.
And that was the last one, right?
It had to be the last one, because I'm telling you the truth. Like, you can browse ESPN. I don't care. It could be recommended on YouTube. It can be on regular TV. It could be ESPN Plus. You're barely seeing it. You have to find out who's boxing to find out that you're actually getting a Crawford fight. Like, you're like, oh, there's a fight? Oh, didn't hear about it. Like, oh, I hear. You know what's bad? When you get Jake Paul had better promotion than him. Yep. That's bad.
I have no love for the Pauls around here. But the one thing I will say is I appreciate the fact that they're helping some of these fighters get paid in the way that they should have been getting paid in the first place. Because I am not one of these people that is a fan of the Bob Arums and shit of the world taking all these big purses. Like, to me, the fact that a UFC fighter, no matter basically how big of a name you are, gets under 20% of the money there when they fight, when they're the draw, they get under 20%. Nah, baby, nah. This shit's all out of whack. And this is why I say Bob Arum, asshole in boxing. Dana White, MMA. When you're a fighter right now, you don't have much choice but to work with both of them. If you want to be a successful boxer, you got to work with Arum. If you want to be a successful MMA fighter, you got to work with Dana White. That being said, both of y'all scumbags. Pay your fighters, you scumbags. You old white scumbags. Pay your fucking fighters. This is not the movie Django where y'all are doing fucking fighting, okay? You are not Leonardo DiCaprio sitting there sipping on your fucking drink, okay? Pay your fucking fighters.
I would say, since you did bring up Dana White and what recently came out with Francis.
Oh, yeah.
Since Francis is going to not re-sign with Dana White, he did reveal what he was getting paid from his old contract. So he says he doesn't want to fight for $500,000 to $600,000 anymore. But we have to see how long that old contract. When did Francis come in? I forgot.
So no, this is the last fight on that contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if he wins the title, there's some sort of like clause.
He has a year.
It's like an extra year.
He has an extra year for one more fight. Yeah, he has a year for one more fight. So I'm saying, like, him wanting to do boxing too, and he wants that in his contract, and co-promoting is not a Dana White thing. I would just say, like, Francis also, like, you have Bob Arum want to be racist, right? And then you got Francis out here trying to do another sport that he is not good at, or he hasn't mastered the one he's actually in. It's kind of crazy. Like, you can't have we're spitting narratives like fighter pay, but the people that be complaining about fighter pay in the UFC don't be releasing their freaking money. They don't like say, "Hey, this is the money I get. This is why Dana White's bad." If it was if it's so bad of a narrative, but like honestly, if it's so bad of a narrative that you're getting paid less, wouldn't you just show the proof for that?
But here's where I think where you're kind of missing the point with all this. They shouldn't have to show you. Why do they need to show you? The UFC was bought for multiple billions of dollars, correct?
Correct, and then made public.
And so that means that they have a whole bunch of capital, correct?
Correct.
And has the UFC reported, since they were purchased by WME Inc., have they reported taking a loss on the year yet?
No.
Then why the fuck can't you pay your fighters right?
I don't know. I really think it's like the certain fighter. I really can't. This is the thing. I've been listening to this fighter pay for like how long, since they first started. And then also like even at the time when they were trying to say we need a union and shit, right? At the same time, it's just like, you know who your stars are, and you know you're paying them the money, right? But also you have your other people that are just coming up. It's like, if you want to be in the best, so if you want to be in the best company, right, you got to perform the best, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you got Cowboy, right? Let's say Cowboy, for example, right? He's losing his fights, right? But he's taking multiple fights. You know how when he did that little spur, just like taking fight after fight after fight? You'll think he's getting paid a lot, right? But I feel like you also, like, he needs the money because he's taking too many fights. So at the same time, it's like, is it really the
argument
fighter?
be presented though that, hey, he needs the money because he never got paid right in the first place?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I agree with that. But also at the same time, it's just like, why is that a thing? Why is the money really the thing? Like big money fights, like all these things.
Because you get your ass kicked for a living. What do you mean?
Nah.
Somebody is punching you and kicking you in the face for a living. Are you asking me why should I worry about getting as much money as I can? Daryl, if you was getting punched and kicked in the face for a living, wouldn't you want to maximize your profits as quickly as you can?
Yeah, if I was getting kicked in the face and everything else, yeah. But if I was a smart fighter and I wasn't getting all that stuff, I wouldn't be complaining.
But everybody gets punched and kicked in the face, though, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like at some point, hey, look, what happened with Amanda? Amanda was out here bullying these girls for a solid 3 years, right?
And what weight class?
And what weight class? And then she got kicked, and then she got beat up by somebody and punched in the face, kicked in the face. It happens to the best of them. Anderson Silva got knocked out by Chris Weidman. It happens to everybody, dog, except for, Daryl's favorite fighter, Johnny Bones Jones.
Yo, you bring this man up again. You know what? When's his fight getting announced? Because at least we get real fights, out here. Because because I've been hearing the weight train how many years now? The weight train. Oh, John Jones is going to move to heavyweight. I got to be ready for the weight.
Hey, holla at your boy Dana and tell him to pay that man right.
He's already paid right. He's just waiting to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, he's
If that's the case, how come Conor McGregor was making more annually per fight then?
Because he's a star. Jones don't sell pay-per-views.
Oh, it's funny. He's a star. Nigga be out here losing, but he's a star.
Hey, John Jones is not pound
so
for
wait,
pound
by that logic, Donald Cerrone should have been getting paid more. Why wasn't he? Donald Cerrone's a UFC star. He's a known name.
He fumbles the bag when it comes to big fights.
So Conor getting wait, let me get this right. So Conor losing 3 of his last 4 fights is not fumbling the bag though. Okay,
no,
buddy.
Because he's the promotion. He promotes the fight. Okay, let's give mate. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be really honest. No bias, no nothing, right? If you had to put it in between, and you're the promoter, who's selling the fight? John Jones or Conor McGregor?
They both should be.
I mean, Conor's gonna throw something into the crowd,
and I should be promoting both of them.
Conor's gonna, like I said, he gonna try to fight the dude at the press conference. He's gonna try to fight a bus. He's going to say something crazy. Probably take his shirt off at some random period of time where it's unnecessary to take your shirt off. All John Jones is going to do is tell you that he's going to whoop your ass and then proceed to whoop your ass.
And talk about Jesus. And talk about Jesus. and talk about Jesus and say how
man.
grateful I am and all this other stuff.
Yeah, he's grateful for the opportunity.
Let's car crash. Let me beat my wife, Jesus. I got the strength.
God.
I'm on rehab. Jesus.
Kind of hard to argue with his point right there. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but to the greater point is, I keep saying this to you, Daryl, and you keep trying to take Dana White's back. It is the organization's job to promote the fucking fights. It's not all on the fighter. We watch the organization not promote equally over and over. Look at the NBA. Okay, NBA is a great example of this, right? And the reason why I bring them up is because they have a long drawn out season. It takes like 6 months, right? And they have a whole bunch of different teams that you have to try and promote, and everybody that has to get into the limelight. The NBA hypes up every primetime game, every game that they have, even if the team that is one of the teams that's in there is sorry as hell. It could be Pelicans at, let's say, Magic right now, and they would hype that shit up like it was Lakers versus Nets. I promise you. But what does the UFC do? The UFC consistently, oh, well, if Connor's fighting, we're going to put all this promotion in. We're going to pay for all these commercials. Anybody else, though, fuck yourself.
Good luck. I mean, hell, we learned about as soon as the NBA schedule comes out, we're hyped about the Christmas Day games. Immediately when the NBA schedule comes out, first thing people look at, Christmas Day games.
When's the last time you seen them hype up anything on the undercard not named Sean O'Malley?
Last two fights. Last two fights.
Who did they have up?
Dominic
who? Cruz or Reyes?
Yeah. Cruz. Reyes hasn't fought. He's coming off of injuries.
Dominic Cruz is a known fighter. What the hell they need to hype him for?
I think that was more of a, oh my God, he's actually fighting on the undercard? You fell off that much, my boy?
And they didn't even hype that up. What are you talking about? They put no hype on that.
They put a hype on that one guy. Starts with a J. He's been winning lately. He's on like a streak. I can't think of his name right now, but they've been hyped. Every time he's like a prime time prelim last fight, he's been hyped. It's the same thing with Greg Hardy. You know how many times they freaking promoted Greg Hardy? Come on now. I know we don't want to talk about it. You know how much they've been hyping Greg Hardy.
For me. My nigga, they promoted Greg Hardy more than they've done with John Jones. What more needs to be said?
Okay, well, when the times they actually did big business for John Jones, what happened?
When? The only time they did it was when him and Cormier was sitting there threatening to kill each other on Hot Light. That's the only time they promoted it.
But what did Jones did? What did Jones did? To get a little couple of insults, did a lot of things. He did a lot of things for that fight, right?
It's kind of funny though. They made a shitload of money on that fight when you talking about how the Jones fights don't make no money. The one that they promoted sure as hell made a lot.
It's not even in the top 10. It's not even in the top 10. Not even top 10. Not even top 10 fights. None. We'll have Valentina in there before we have John Jones.
Damn.
We'll have, I tell you this. I tell you another one. We'll probably have freaking Brandon Moreno before John Jones in the top 10. Because John Jones don't sell fights. The only way you're going to sell a John Jones fight if he fights Francis, and Francis is leaving. I'm sorry. Derek Lewis to get promoted better than freaking John Jones. I can go down the list. Stipe will still get more pay-per-view buys than freaking John Jones.
Shut the hell up. You don't even believe that. You don't even believe that at all. Shut up. Stop that right now. Stop. You know you don't believe that. You call anybody that
Uriah Faber versus Faber versus Dominic Cruz will get more pay-per-view buys than John Jones.
You stop that right now. You stop that.
I can't believe you stop it.
You stop it.
We need to get on to the next topic because
That's the type of shit I'd be talking about with him, bro. Sometimes I can't with this man, bro. Sometimes I can't. But to end the week out here, we got one story to cover here, and that is, hold on, I want to pull up her name here because I don't want to just call her that chick on G4. That I feel like that would be really bad for the point that I'm trying to make here. But so for those that don't know, G4 TV is back, right? And they have been back on the air doing their thing, trying to reestablish where they were at some point, right? So that being said, we have, God, what is her real name? Jesus, I can't find her real name for life. All right, man, you know what? I'm sorry, but her name is MGK. It was MG Curran, I think it is. I think that's what it is. Okay. She flamed up the incels this week, and I would just like to say that I thoroughly appreciated her flame up there. She basically put out the point of, hey, incels, stop feeding the chats that we do full of hate because I'm not hot enough for you to jerk off to and get your little rocks off to. And hey, I just want to say I want to commend her. I went and looked at some of those chats for myself to see. I was like, because the first one, I was like, yo, she is going really, really ham right now. Like, this is unusual for somebody to go this ham at their viewers. But then I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a bunch of dudes who don't get no ass up here talking trash to her, being mad because she does not look like Olivia Munn or one of the other chicks that previously worked for G4.
Right? She doesn't have the Olivia Munn panty pile or some random stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this story it's ridiculous, dog. Like, bro, this is a show about video games. I don't care what you look like. Give me the content that I want. Give me the let me know about the freaking game designers. Let me know about the game. Give me the details. I don't care what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it, people.
Look, man, I ain't here for my spank bank, dog. Like, look, if I'm on G4 TV, I'm here to watch some shit about video games. Do you know what you're talking about? Do you give good opinions? Do you say things that are reasonable and rational? If so, I can rock with you. To be honest with you, look, man, I know Olivia Munn is fine. I ain't trying to talk bad about her, but she ain't the finest woman in the world. So y'all little dudes that's on here complaining and crying about, oh, man, this chick doesn't look as hot as Olivia and all this. Grow up. Get out of your fucking mom's basement. Go outside, get some sunlight. Maybe go talk to somebody. Maybe you can find someone with some common interests. Maybe you can finally get some ass. Because most of them comments I was looking, it was like, oh, clearly none of these dudes gets no ass. All these dudes are sitting at home in their basement like this all day, okay? So I'm sorry, guys. Y'all need to grow the fuck up, okay? Stop talking to these grown women like they supposed to just be there for your sexual arousal, bro. Sorry, that's not the case, man. Just like, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Doris Burke is like one of my favorite NBA announcers. I don't find Doris attractive at all. And guess what? I don't give a fuck. I never cared if she was attractive or not. You know why? Because Doris be spitting that hot fire. She has her knowledge.
Listen,
I don't care about how hot she is.
Ramona Shelburne got the heat.
Boy.
She come with the story. She come with the details. And I don't give a damn what she looked like because she always got the goods.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Like, look, some of my favorite sports analysis out there and sports reporters are women. And I'm going to tell you something, not attracted to the majority of them. I like their work. I like what they are presenting here to the table. I don't give a shit how attractive you are. Do you do a good job at what you're doing here? Because look, if I'm here like on G4, if I'm here on G4, I'm here for the video game stuff. I'm here for y'all to clown around, have some funny segments, because like I know that's what you guys have always done. Have fun with all the video game world stuff, right? I don't care if you're hot, man. Hell, I'm a person who I was voting for Xavier Woods to be the next host on G4 TV. I don't care about how hot some chick is. I could care less. I wanted the dude that I thought was going to be the best at the job there. Not, oh, well, she's just hot, so I should vote for her. Shout out to you if you're hot. I'm not telling you you have to downplay yourself. All I'm saying is when it comes to my sports, my video games and all that, I don't give a shit if you hot. It don't make no difference to me. Are you good at your job, though? Daryl's face is
hilarious. He ready, bro. He ready to go smooth the fuck off.
I'm just reading this. And I'll tell you this: a Twitch chat got her triggered. That's what this is. A Twitch chat got her triggered.
But that's her job, though.
It's her job, but you have to be professional. Don't let it just get to you. People say a lot of things every single day. You let the keyboard warriors go ahead and just like say what they want to say, and you actually get involved in it. So you're just really just saying that it really bothered you that they said you're not attractive enough. And
well, let's think. G4 has been back on the air for under 6 months, and she gets that basically every time they do a show. Wouldn't you kind of like, Daryl, think about this. If we was doing a live show, right, every week, and every week there was some dude that came here, Daryl's the N-word, Daryl's the N-word. Wouldn't you get tired of it? Wouldn't you eventually want to curse that dude out and be like, man, you can go fuck yourself?
1%.
He's such a lie. This nigga, he is such a lie. I know he would get triggered eventually one day because it would be one of them days, Mace, when Mina came in there and fucked with him a little bit, and he ain't got enough sleep because they had him working a little OT at the job. Boy, he gonna curse that man out.
I asked y'all one question. And y'all were both in this. So so for example, if I had someone talking trash in a video game, right? And then I go ahead and go troll them. Who's the one going to break, me or them?
I mean, probably them, but they still got the reaction out you, though.
Did they get the reaction?
Mm-hmm. Because if you going and now taking your time to troll them, they got the reaction.
But it's a gimmick.
Oh, Lord.
What do you do with a gimmick? What do you do with a gimmick?
Who made you this way?
What's the difference between a gimmick and actually using your true emotions? That's all I'm asking.
I'm done with this guy.
I mean, at the same time, though, if you're subject to reading this stuff every day, everybody got their breaking point.
But don't do it on live. Don't do it live.
No, damn that. You do it in front of everybody.
It's great content, baby.
You feel me?
What you mean?
If somebody calls you out in public, don't you want to then in public get back at them?
Do you get a W out of it?
Oh, I feel like she got a dub.
Oh, yeah, she got the dub because she just proved a point that all these weebs out there who think who thinks that she should have a panty pile somewhere randomly on set. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That's really what it comes down to. Like I said, you don't want to take anything away from them being attractive. That's not what we're here to do. But don't make that the reason why you tune into the show.
How much of a percentage is that though of these incels? How much of a percentage?
Hey, them incels. If you learned anything about these dudes, don't be getting no ass, boy. They be falling in love with some of these people on TV. And they get real weird, man. I mean, look, I'm gonna just say this: if you really want to know how bad it can get, go look up some of the horror stories that Taylor Swift has dealt with. I have to give it to her for as many horror stories as I've read her to have dealt with. And mind you, I'm not even like a fan of her music or anything, right? I have a great respect for her talent and her ability to compose songs completely from start to finish, right? I great respect for it. Not a fan though, but she's dealt with some crazy shit. Look at what some of these women singers have had to deal with some of these incel stalker ass dudes. Like, bro, there are just some people out here that are effed up in the head and they latch on to these people, and then especially when they're latched on to something like a G4 TV and their memories are like, oh yeah, Olivia Munn, and now someone else is taking their place. That person doesn't even have to be bad at their job for them to react negatively and to give that person venom and hate just because it's different. So look, man, all I'm gonna say is, y'all incels out there, go get a woman if you got to go pay for some compassion somewhere, go do what you got to do. I don't pay for it. That's not. I'm against them. I'm against that. That is against my morality to pay for it. But if you got to go do it, dog, go do what you got to do. Because look, man, you need to stop putting all this fucking venom out here.
That's the oldest profession in the world, bro.
Hey, I'm telling you. Hey, there's a reason why it'll always be happening in some country. Plain out and simple. Go look. There's a reason it's legal in Vegas around this country. Okay. Because we know people like to do shit, and hey, you want to be debaucherous, take your ass to Vegas. So, hey, my dude, you feel that way? Go to Vegas. You can pay for it every week if you got to. I'm just saying, you can pay for it every week. Okay. But with that in mind, we're going to get out of here for the day. Mace, tell the people where they can find you at.
You already know, man. Find me at Twitter at funky_stuff09. Instagram, Nindaime Sama, or twitch.tv/swaggymace.
Daryl, tell the people where to find you, Mr. Low Elo Janitor.
You already did it for me. Low Elo Janitor at Twitch. Low Elo Janitor YouTube, and Alvarez Effect for Twitter and Instagram.
And you guys know where you can find me everywhere at JSpan the Man. Everywhere you'll see the ITC logo or my pretty face. But before we get out of here, I just want to send a special shout out to Michael Kelly. Brother, you support us every week. You listen to our content. You view it all. You give us good feedback on it, man. I just want to say, Kelly, bro, we appreciate you. You the motherfucking man. Appreciate all you guys out here that support us. You know, I will gladly give you a shout out if you're somebody that wants to, hey, I support your product. But Kelly has really shown us support since the very beginning of this. So I have to say, thank you, Kelly. We appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you,
Hope
baby.
everything is still going well with you, man. We really do appreciate you right here. But on that note, people, we going to get out of here. This is, again, another episode of your favorite weekend sports show, ITC
Sportsball.
Woo!